Good evening. This is Philip Fieldy Music, and tonight I am doing a album ranking of the albums of Mötley Crüe. So Mötley Crüe, American rock band, glam metal, hard rock, heavy metal. Um, so my history with this band is I would say most of my life I've hated them. I thought they were not a good band. Uh, I think just because I was like a '90s alt rock kid growing up. I always despised these kind of bands, but growing up, checking out some of their, I did check out everything. Um, I have more of an appreciation for this band now, at least for half the album probably. So yeah, and I'll add a little more little ad libs as I go, but pretty much didn't like the band. Was into like the alternative rock grunge stuff, and so I was anti this kind of music, and I have slowly grown to appreciate some of it. So let's go ahead and get started with their debut, Too Fast for Love, 1981. Listed heavy metal, glam punk. So the first edition of 900 copies was released, and then they got signed by Elektra the following year. The album was remixed and partially re-recorded. Uh, yeah, so to me, this is their best album. Um, I mean, if I had to listen to this one instead of some of their big hits that got ran into the ground, I probably would have a better appreciation for this group. Um, it was just so much pop metal pushed into your face at that time that you kind of just like don't even want to hear the radio. The use of cowbell in this album is hilarious, but I loved it. I thought it was really good. I know I've heard people, I've listened to other people ranking these albums too, and they don't like that, but I do. I think it's great guitar parts, and Vince's voice to me sounds good in this era. He gets some crazy high notes in some of these early albums um, before his voice went to crap. So, and I know a lot of people don't even like his voice at this point, but I think he sounds good. The drumming and bass all sound good as well. I really do like the group vocals on Too Fast for Love, the title track. But my favorite songs off of it, I would say, is Live Wire, Come On and Dance, and Too Fast for Love. Least favorite is Public Enemy #1. So I'm going to put this up at the A category. And I took off the no skips because there isn't one for me. But all the other categories will have some albums in it. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. We have Shout at the Devil, 1983. It's their one that really popped off for them. Um, let's see, the genre is heavy metal, glam metal. Uh, this one had a lot of singles off of it too. I remember hearing this a lot. The big single "Shout at the Devil," the title track, "Looks at Kill," "Helter Skelter," the Beatles cover, "Too Young to Fall in Love." Um, I thought they did a good job with the Helter Skelter cover. I mean, that's a sometimes the Beatles covers don't really. I mean, you look at what the originals were, but this wasn't bad at all. A little harder, but it's good. Um, I don't like this one as much as their debut, but I do like it though. It does give me AC/DC vibes in some spots, so I'll say that. My favorite songs are "Shout at the Devil," "Too Young to Fall in Love," and "Helter Skelter." And my least favorite is "Bastard," even though I've heard a lot of people like that one. But I'm gonna put it in the C category. So I mean, I like it, but I don't really like it. Like it's not like super light or anything. I can appreciate it, I guess. Um, Not good, but very good. I mean, not very good, but good. We'll say it like that. Could be sacrilegious for some people, but like I said, I'm just now starting to appreciate even a little bit of Mötley Crüe. So next is Theater Pain. Third studio album came out in 1985, genre glam metal. This is after released in the aftermath of Vince Neil's arrest for manslaughter, a drunk driving charge from the Hanoi Rocks. I believe it's drummer. Marked the beginning of the band's transition away from the traditional heavy metal sound to more glam metal. Poorly regarded by some of the band members and critics. It contains the hit singles "Smoking in the Boys' Room" and "Home Sweet Home," which I've been hearing a lot, especially like in Peacemaker, the TV show. "Smoking in the Boys' Room" cover. Who's it by? It's by Brownsville Station. Used to hear it all the time. Got worn out. Yeah, but like more of a glam and hair metal approach on this album. It's not as good as their previous material. So I really think this album is kind of meh. But my favorite songs off of it is "Smoking in the Boys' Room" cover, "Home Sweet Home," and "Tonight We Need a Lover." And the least favorite is "Louder Than Hell," which I know a lot of people do like, but I do not. So I'll put it there. Next we have the I call it stripper music anthem. "Girls, Girls, Girls." This is the fourth album, came out in 1987. Besides that title track, we have "You're All I Need" and "Wild Side" was the singles. The band's final collaboration with Tom Werman. It was a big hit for them. And it was more of a change of a bluesier rock sound to their sound, which a lot of people did like. So it says, yeah, glam metal, arena rock. But man, "Girls, Girls, Girls" got worn out. You could hear them all the time back in the 80s. But I have to say it is one of my favorite songs off this album, though. Except for "Wild Side" and "You're All I Need." Least favorite is "5 Years Dead," which sounds a lot like "Girls, Girls, Girls." It kind of feels repetitive. Um, so I'm going to put that one in the C category too, right after "Shout Out the Devil." Next we have "Dr. Feelgood," which came out in 1989. Fifth album. A lot of people say this is their best album. And it topped the Billboard 200 chart, the only time they ever did that. It's the first album after their quest for sobriety and rehabilitation. It's the last one with Vince Neil for one album break. But glam metal, heavy metal, hard rock. But "Dr. Feelgood," the title track, "Kickstart My Heart," and "Without You" are my favorite songs off of it. "Rattlesnake Shake" is my least. I think this one is a very good album. So to me, it's my second favorite. So it's in the B category. Next, we have the self-titled album, the one without Vince Neil. They had John Corabi on it for only this one album. Heavy metal, alternative metal, hard rock, and grunge are the categories. It does sound way, way, way different than the rest of it. It almost has like a Pantera mix into it, so it's almost like a Pantera Crüe album. And sometimes a little Van Hagar as well. But I do think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for. In fact, I do like it better than "Shout At the Devil" and "Girls, Girls, Girls," but I am going to put it in the C, so I do like it. I do think it's good, but I don't think it's very good. Alright, next we have "Generation Swine," which is their worst album. I'll say that right out the gate. Found the song "Find Myself," which is my least favorite. Super annoying. The whole album is produced badly. I did find some stuff in it later as I went along, but it was a rough listen, I have to say. Um, yes, Vince Neil came back, but it did not feature Tommy Lee for this one album. But he came back from. No wait, no, I got that wrong. That's the next album. So this is the return of everybody back into it. So this will be the last one for Tommy Lee because the next album he's not on it. But Vince and Tommy is back in this one. So alternative metal, alternative rock, industrial rock. But like I already said, this is crap. So it's in the F category. All right, next is New Tattoo. That's what I was talking about with Tommy Lee not being in it for just one album. I was reading he was off doing his Methods of Mayhem stuff, which I was a fan of, at least for a couple songs. Da, 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 and Randy Castillo was the drummer, and then he passed away. And the album artwork was inspired by the cover of Bruce Dickinson's album Tattoo Millionaire, whose title track is said to be about Dickinson's wife cheating on him with Nikki Sixx, this came out in the dirt. Anyways, heavy metal, glam metal. It has a very Chinese-like cover to it. But it gives me very much Buck Cherry vibes. I do think it's better than Generation Swine, though. But it does focuses, they're bragging about their past debauchery and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it in a D. I do like it a little bit better than House of Pain, so I'll put it there. And finally, we have Saints of Los Angeles, their last album as of right now. Everybody's back together at the time. Heavy metal, glam metal came out in 2008. But Mick Mars leaves way after this album because this album came out a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. It's 18 years ago. Yeah, not much to say besides that. They're trying to get back to their regular style of stuff. But it's like Mötley Crüe, old school, but not as good because Vince's voice is terrible. Everybody's playing kind of sloppily. And add a little Bon Jovi kind of style to it as well. So yeah, least favorite song is Motherfucker of the Year. Favorite songs is Saints of Los Angeles, Down at the Whiskey, and This Ain't a Love Song. But I am going to put it in D in between. There you go. These two. There you go. So that is my ranking. Please let me know in the comments what you would pick or what your thoughts of mine were. If you're not subscribed already, please do. Hit the bell. Please share. Help me get my subscriptions up. I do appreciate the help because I do need it. And we'll see you tomorrow for another song of the day and continue our musical discovery. And we'll see when I do another one of these or an album ranking or whatever. So thank you and have a good night. Goodbye.